guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Loki Kia in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have that one sedan that people are still talking about. This is it. This is a 2023 Kia K5. This particular one is a K5 GT line. But before we get into this sporty sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. Kia, yes, they're doing the business with their SUVs, whether they be small like the Seltos or big like the Telluride. They're still sticking to their guns on their sedans, especially with the K5. Now, it's been a couple years since the redesign, but you know what? Still bringing a lot of fresh style, especially to this mid-size sedan segment that for some brands got a little stagnant. Now, of course, everybody knows the Honda Accord, the Toyota Camry. I even remember the Mazda 6, which, remember, the Mazda 6 they don't make anymore. Now, there is the sister version of this car called the Hyundai Sonata. And Hyundai has announced that they're killing it off. But then we also can't forget the Nissan Altima. But what I want to do is I want to go for the high level mark. I want to compare this and see if you should buy this GT line over a Honda Accord. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into our bright white K5 GT line and see, is it the better sedan to buy? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the style. Like I was saying, it's been a few years, but it's still looking fresh. You're gonna get all of that LED style and lighting up front. Headlights, daytime running lamps, and turn signals. Actually looks a little similar to a Honda Accord, the way that they did the interior of the headlight housing and the way that the headlights are situated in there, but definitely the daytime running lamp, very, very unique. Now, on the lower side, you do have this area that has some fake vents, but the good news is you do have LED fog lamps. So something that you're seeing disappearing on a lot of sedans, still getting the LED fog lamps, and I like the way the trim flows nicely into that corner area. I'm only gonna give it a half a zonk because this should be functional on the back portion. You'll notice that nice low lip, the way it extends down into the front fascia. And then as we come across that center grille, obviously beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but definitely more sculpted on the K5 compared to the Honda Accord. You got that traditional Kia tiger nose grille with the gunmetal gray finish. We work our way down that large lower area, fully functional. And then you'll notice how the gloss black extends from one side to the other and flows nicely into that lower lip area. Now, as we get up onto the hood, of course, we got the updated Kia badge. This was one of the best things they could have ever done for the brand. Looks fresh, looks very contemporary. Nice flow from the hood into the upper grille. And then you have this sort of like dip in the center to give it just enough style to not be too over the top. Now, when we come around the bend, when you go GT line, you're gonna get these specific wheels. So gloss black, machined aluminum, they are 18-inch wheels. This is front wheel drive, 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and these are P0, Pirelli P0 tires. What I like is just how clean everything is from the side. Wheels, it's one of those things that can make or break a car. Let me know how you feel about this style. I think on the Accord, some of the wheels are getting a little bland. They need to kind of spice them up a little bit. But let's continue down the side. GT line gets you a gloss black mirror cap with the turn signals built in, slim and trim, no sunroof. And that's a little bit of a bummer for me, even just a standard sunroof. But you got the shiny bright metalwork up top. You have the door handles that are painted matching body color. And I do like the sill, the way they work that side sill extension. Definitely gives it some sporty lines to the side of the vehicle. Now, as we continue down, that trim, I like the way they carry it all the way around. It almost makes this look like a Stinger with that sport back design, but this does have an actual trunk. Coming around the back to the trunk side, going GT line gives you this trunklet spoiler. Nice gloss black. It's got an aggressive look to it. Definitely functional. You'll notice our lighting, LED taillights with that heartbeat design. The lighting goes all the way across. And then really clean on the K5 and the GT line badge. I hate to end it on a sour note, but that's the way the story goes. That's how the cookie crumbles, as they say sometimes. And that's the cookie crumbling. What is going on here with these fake exhausts? I don't like the way they look. They're not functional. That is a big zonk, but I do like the way they went with the simulated rear diffuser, same color as the grille up front. That gives it a little bit of something extra. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our GT line. All right, guys, we got the hood popped open. Now, you do have hood struts, unlike the Accord that does have a prop rod. Underneath the hood, not a lot of plastic covering the engine, but just enough to where everything isn't just dangling out. But what do we have? We have that 1.6 liter turbocharged inline four. It produces 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. The great news is it's mated to an 8-speed automatic, no CVT. And remember, to get the 10-speed automatic in the Accord, you have to go all the way with the 2-liter turbocharged inline four to have that 10-speed automatic, or you're getting a CVT in the 1.5. 0 to 60 in about 7.4 seconds. It is front-wheel drive. MPGs, not too shabby. 29 in the city, 38 on the highway. The great news is, if you want more power, you can get more power with the GT, just like you could upgrade in the Honda Accord with that detuned Type R engine. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Kia K5 GT line. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been doing my homework. I have my abacus out. I got my spreadsheets and everything else trying to find a mid-size sedan. How much is this GT line? Because I'm very curious. MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is right around $28,000. Let's see what you get compared to the Honda. To the door panels. Nice, clean style, soft touch material up top. I'm digging that sort of like flat gray material, something better than just gloss black, and no gloss black around the switch gear. The armrest is semi-soft. Door pocket is a little tight, so maybe just 2 tacos from Taco Bell and a can of Surge to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, you got more of that nice gray material. Soft touch on the dash with the stitching. Even the way they do the AC vents, very nice with the style. Then you get to the infotainment side of things. You have that 10.25 infotainment system screen, obviously navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You hit the home, and then you got those different widgets to go through, different apps in the system. Working your way down, we got a nice bright silver start-stop button, 2 AC vents, and then you do get dual climate, storage for, I would say, 6 Snickers easily. Then you got 12-volt USB-A and another USB-A, so that makes 2. That's going to have you control the 8-speed automatic, 2 cup holders, drive mode selector knob, and then your wireless charging. Soft material on the armrest. Open it up. You got enough room in there. I would say you could easily put 4 to 6 Atari video game cartridges, especially if you have ET. If you have ET, that's actually the most expensive, one of the most expensive games, and when it came out, it sucked. Seats. Love the soft material. GT line. The cloth is tasteful. I'm not crazy about it, but it is tasteful. Manual seat controls for the passenger. Of course, being the captain of this K5, that sounds like some kind of weird spacecraft. I do have electric assist for me, but why don't you come over to the business end, because guess what? I got a flat bottom steering wheel I want to show you in this K5. Come on over. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. There's those seat controls I was telling you about. Nice lower lumbar to make the adjustments. You see the stitching on the seats? Even when you're sitting in them, it still looks good. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room. I wish there was a sunroof. I mean, GT line, sporty. I need a sporty sunroof in here. Let me know what you think about that. But the steering wheel is definitely sporty. flat bottom, tasteful horn button with the Kia badge, the GT Line badge, flat black on all the buttons. You do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then the dash is a little bit of a mixed bag. You got the analog gauges and that 4.5-inch digital display in the center that you could actually scroll through different information and watch when you go in your modes. So you have your normal, sport, custom, and smart. And I like the way it displays in that actual screen. Other than that, very well laid out with those backlit LED gauges. But why don't we go ahead and get into the back seat and see how this stacks up to the mighty Honda Accord. All right, guys, back seat time. And really, there's no huge difference between the amount of space back here and the space in the Honda Accord. You can see the backs of the seats. You got the plastic, so that's good for those who have kids. You can clean all of their germs and disgustingness off the back of the seat. Nice large pocket. Let's get them eating healthy. You could put at least 10 carrots in here and some celery sticks. Maybe even make some ants on a log. Those are really good. Some peanut butter, some raisin. I miss those days. Speaking of missing, I'm missing a couple AC vents. They would go perfectly right here, but down below you do have 2 USB-As. So they got you covered connectivity-wise, just not cooling-wise. Seats feel pretty good, and I just discovered something. After all this time doing a K5, hard plastic on the doors up the top portion for the passengers. Soft up there, hard back here. That's a zonk. I maybe want to put my arm here, and it's as hard as a rock. The good news is I have this armrest, which is semi-soft with 2 deep cup holders. Flip it back, same seat material as up front, so it matches. Not like one of those Civic Type R's where you got the bright red seats and then the black seats in the back. But let's go ahead, let's check out the trunk and see what kind of junk we could get into this K5. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. You hit the button right there, nicely hidden. Open that up, you're gonna be greeted to a wide opening. You're looking at over 14 cubic feet of space. Those seats, I know it's hard to see in there. It almost looks like a dark cave. Do the 60-40 split. And what's wonderful is that they're smart, just like Honda. They put the handles right here to fold those seats down. Let's see what's underneath the cargo liner. You do get a spare. So that's good news. No can of flat fix and 50 cents to call home. Not like you're gonna use a payphone. You could use 1-800-CALL-COLLECT. Remember that? But anyways, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire up this GT line and go for a little spin. All right, guys, we're inside this 2023 Kia K5 GT line. Right away, you're gonna like the amount of room that's up front. You're also gonna like the way everything is well laid out in here. Easy to get to, and that's another thing that really just makes sense in this car. It feels very sporty. I think maybe one of the big hassles is that you may not like the analog gauges, but in the Honda Accord, it really isn't much better than that anyways. From the light, the great news that you're gonna love with this K5 GT line is you have that 8-speed automatic, no CVT, visibility is great, feels very sporty in here, and definitely feels on a different level, the way they do all the finishes. The one thing, like I said, that I am really wishing was in here is possibly some ventilated seats, but other than that, it's actually well laid out, getting to everything well within reach, and then even visibility is just fine out the back glass. This out on the highway, on throttle, here we go. 8-speed drops down and we are off and running. The 8-speed allows the 1.6-liter turbocharged engine to get down to business, and it would be nice to have 200 horsepower, but the way that this one is set up, it's still very, very well done. And like I said, if you go Honda Accord, you're not breaking that 200 mark either when you're not looking at the 2-liter. Remember, we're talking about the 1.5-liter turbocharged inline 4, but it's really nice what they've done with the sound deadening material and just the way the car drives and rides. I have it in sport mode. That's gonna affect the steering a little bit and also the throttle sensitivity. But seats, supportive without being too soft and squishy. And I don't know, you feel like you're in a different kind of car in a very, very good way. But let's go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. I'm telling you, nice shifts from that 8-speed automatic. It handles the bumps nicely. But yes, if you get into a Kia K5 GT, there is one heck of a difference. That's for sure. Go on throttle from a complete stop. On throttle, here we go. Little bit of tire spin, but then we're off and running. Engine is a little buzzy, but most 4-cylinder turbocharged engines are gonna be buzzy like that, so that's nothing new. But I'm telling you, the steering wheel, very, very nicely done with the leather, the way that you're able to see the gauges very easily, and just the way it drives. It's gonna surprise you. If you haven't been in a Kia since your best friend in high school had a Sportage back in 1995, there's a big difference with this vehicle. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to Loki Kia and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Loki Kia. I definitely want to thank Robert, Danny, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this Kia K5 GT line. Let me know what you think. Has Kia done enough? Do they need to do a little bit more to win you over from a Honda Accord, or are you gonna go automatically with the Honda Accord over this K5? Let me know in that comment section, but if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiders Rise family. We need to give it up to Stephen Flood Photography, working the camera magic. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.